Have you ever, seen those pictures? These amazing, really active Japanese seniors, like way into their 90s, even past
Oh,
100.
absolutely. They often look so vibrant.
All right. And you see them gardening or laughing with friends, maybe even riding a bike. It makes you stop and think, doesn't it? What's
Mm.
their secret? What are we missing?
Well, it's a great question, and it's one that's definitely sparked a lot of interest, and for a very good reason.
Totally. Because it's not just about living longer, is it? It's about how alive they seem during those extra years.
Exactly, the quality of life aspect.
So today we're doing a deep dive into what might just be the most powerful habit they practice every day. Something that really seems to fuel that longevity and well-being.
And it might not be what people immediately think of.
Right, before you jump to like special diets or green tea or the latest supplement,
Yeah.
this is deeper, more
Don't
fundamental.
worry.
You really want to stick with us through this whole discussion right to the end. Because understanding this one habit, it could genuinely change not just the number of years you live, but how well you live them. Seriously, the last part is key.
It ties everything together.
Yeah. And hey, if this sounds interesting, definitely hit subscribe for more deep dives like this one. And maybe even try this habit out yourself and drop a comment below. We'd honestly love to hear how it makes you feel.
Okay, so where do we start? Maybe with the numbers.
Good idea. The statistics are pretty striking.
They really are.
Yeah.
Japan consistently has one of the highest average life expectancies globally. We're talking over 86 years on average.
And that's just the average. When you look at specific areas like Okinawa, for instance, you see people living well into their 90s pretty commonly. It's incredible.
It is. But as you said, it's not just the length, it's the vitality. That's what really grabs your attention. They aren't just surviving. Many seem to be thriving.
Right, not just adding years of poor health, but often years filled with, well, activity and engagement.
Think about some of the stories. There was Sachiko, 102 years old, still apparently enjoying her garden every morning, eating with her family.
And sharp too, right? Good memory, laughs a lot.
That's the picture painted, yeah. Or Hiroshi, 98, still supposedly cycling to the market, involved in community stuff.
And these aren't like one-off miracles. This kind of active old age seems more, well, more normal there.
It does seem more prevalent, yes. Which naturally leads you to wonder about the underlying approach to aging itself. How does it differ?
Yeah, compared to, say, how aging is often viewed in the West.
That's a really crucial point. In many Western cultures, there can sometimes be this underlying feeling that aging is, well, a decline, a downhill slide almost.
Like retirement is the finish line for meaningful contribution, and then you just slow down.
It can sometimes feel that way for people, leading to feelings of maybe uselessness or isolation, even if retirement is welcomed initially.
A sense that something's missing after the routine stops. Yeah, I can see that.
But the perspective in Japan often seems quite different. Aging can be seen as an honor, a time of wisdom, and crucially, a time for continued contribution.
So not an ending, but maybe a shift in how you contribute.
Exactly. The focus isn't necessarily on stopping activity, but perhaps finding new, meaningful ways to engage with life and the community.
It feels like they've tapped into something really fundamental that maybe we overlook sometimes.
I think that's fair to say. And this really brings us to the heart of it, to this concept called Ikigai.
Ikigai. Okay, I've definitely heard that word floating around, but what does it really mean? Can you break it down?
Sure, well, there's no single perfect English word for it. But essentially, Ikigai translates loosely to a reason to wake up in the morning.
A reason to wake up. So it's about purpose.
It is. It encompasses your purpose, what brings you joy, what makes life feel meaningful to you.
So it's very personal then, not like one specific goal everyone shares.
Precisely. Your Ikigai could be almost anything. For one person, maybe it's tending their garden, like we mentioned.
Yeah.
For someone else, cooking for family.
Or painting, or teaching.
Or painting, mentoring, fixing things, just being there for a friend. It's incredibly diverse and personal.
So a big part of it is feeling like you're still needed, that
Yeah.
you still have something to offer no matter your age.
That's a huge component, yes. This continued sense of contribution. You see older people there often still deeply involved in family and community life, feeling valued.
And you mentioned science earlier. Is there actual research backing this up, linking purpose to health?
Oh, definitely. There's a growing body of research suggesting that having a strong sense of purpose, this Ikigai, is linked to lower risks for some serious health issues.
Like what?
Things like dementia, heart disease, even depression. And some studies suggest a lower risk of dying prematurely from various causes.
Wow. That's powerful. It really underscores that connection between mind, emotion, and body, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. Let me tell you about Mrs. Watanabe. It's a great example. She's 96, lives in a small town.
Okay.
And for something like 30 years, every single morning she makes her special pickled vegetables. Not for herself, but for her neighbors.
Every morning for 30 years, that's dedication. What keeps her doing it?
She apparently says that knowing people will enjoy her pickles, that effort, makes her feel truly alive. Her focus isn't on counting her remaining years.
It's on the why she gets up each day.
Exactly. It's the meaning and the action, the connection. It's such a different mindset from just thinking, how long will I live? It's about why you're living today.
That really hits home. It contrasts so sharply with feeling like you don't have a role anymore.
Precisely. And it brings up that powerful idea. And maybe it's not age itself that breaks us down the most. Maybe it's the loss of purpose.
The feeling that you don't matter in the same way.
Yeah, and the science echoes this. There was a significant study, I think, from Tohoku University. They followed over 43,000 Japanese adults for about 7 years.
43,000. That's a lot of people. What did they find?
They found that the people who reported having a strong sense of Ikigai had significantly lower mortality rates, lower risk of death from stroke, heart disease, across the board.
So it's not just anecdotes. There's solid data there. Purpose actually seems to protect health.
It really seems to. And if you think about it, it makes intuitive sense, doesn't it?
How so?
Well, if you have a reason to get up, something you care about,
Yeah.
you're probably more likely to take care of yourself, right?
Yeah, you want to be able to keep doing it.
Exactly. It can lower stress hormones, maybe help you sleep better, potentially boost your immune system. It keeps your brain engaged. It gives you motivation.
It provides that internal push. Like, why bother eating well or staying active if you feel like your days are empty anyway?
Precisely. But if you know someone's waiting for your pickled vegetables, or you have that art class you love, or you want to see your garden bloom, you have a reason to stay healthy.
You fight for it more.
You fight for it. That's Ikigai driving you. It's the engine.
This is all making so much sense. But what about for people listening right now who feel like, okay, I get it, but I don't have that, or maybe they feel like they lost it? How do you find your Ikigai?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And the really good news is it's absolutely possible. It's not exclusive to Japan or certain types of people. Anyone can cultivate this.
Okay, so how? Is there a process?
A good starting point is some honest self-reflection. Asking yourself 4 key questions can be really illuminating.
All right, I'm ready. What are they?
Okay, first, what do I truly love doing? What activities just light you up, make you lose track of time?
Okay, what you love. Got it.
Second, what am I actually good at? Not just hobbies, but natural talents, skills you've developed.
Right, your strengths.
Third, what does the world need? And world can be broad, or it can mean just your family, your neighbor, even one person. Where can you add value?
What's needed, okay? And the last one.
And fourth, what can I still offer? Given your experience, your skills, your presence, what contribution can you make right now?
Love, good at, needed, can offer. It's like finding the overlap between those.
Exactly. That intersection is often where you'll find activities that feel deeply purposeful.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be some grand, world-changing thing.
No. So it can be simple.
Absolutely. It could be teaching your grandchild a skill you have, volunteering an hour a week, fixing things for your family, writing down your memories.
Or just tending a small plant, like you said earlier.
Or tending a plant. Or checking in on a friend regularly, feeding the birds each morning. These small, seemingly simple things can be powerful sources of Ikigai.
So the message is, start small, don't aim for some huge, elusive purpose right away.
Yes. Finding meaning in the everyday is key. Think back to Mrs. Watanabe. Her Ikigai wasn't a one-time event, it was a daily ritual. A consistent small act of contribution and joy.
That makes it feel much more achievable. It's about weaving it into your routine.
That's the core of it. Making purpose a part of your daily rhythm, not just a special occasion thing. Even short bursts of meaningful activity add up.
It's like proactively steering your days instead of just letting them drift by.
That's a great way to put it. Now, maybe we should consider the flip side. What happens when that sense of purpose, that Ikigai, is missing?
Right. The danger of not having it. That's important too.
It really is. Let's imagine someone, let's call him George, maybe 77, living somewhere completely different, say New Jersey. He retires after a busy career.
Okay. George from New Jersey.
Maybe George enjoys the freedom, no commute, relaxation. But after a while, The days start to blend together.
He loses that structure.
Exactly. Maybe he drops his old hobbies, spends more time just watching TV. He starts feeling a bit flat, maybe a bit down, forgetful even, but can't quite put his finger on why.
That sounds sadly familiar for some people after retirement, that kind of drift.
It does. And in a situation like George's, the immediate thought might be about medication or physical checkups, which are important.
Mm.
But the root issue might actually be that lack of purpose.
He doesn't just need a pill, he needs a reason.
He might need a reason more than anything else. It's that mind-body connection again. When the spirit or the sense of purpose feels neglected, the body and mind can really suffer.
It's all interconnected. But there's hope, right?
Absolutely. That's the crucial part. It's not a permanent state. Even if that spark feels like it's gone out, finding or rediscovering a reason to engage, a small purpose that can really reignite things.
So it's genuinely never too late to find that Ikigai. Or maybe find it again if it got lost.
Never too late. And another beautiful thing to remember is that your purpose isn't just about you.
How do you mean?
Your Ikigai, your reason for doing something, often ripples outwards. It affects others.
Ah, like Mrs. Watanabe's pickles benefiting her neighbors.
Exactly. Or maybe your purpose is offering comfort with your words. Maybe just your presence eases someone's loneliness. Sharing a skill, telling a story, listening. These acts driven by your purpose can be a lifeline for someone else.
That's a lovely thought, that your why can also be someone else's help.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it pushes back against that feeling some people get later in life, that feeling of being too old or done contributing.
Like your useful chapters are behind you?
Yeah. But the truth is, if you're here, your story is still being written. You still have something unique to offer the world, even if it's just your presence and kindness.
So wrapping this all up, it really feels like this concept of Ikigai, this daily sense of purpose, is a huge piece of the puzzle explaining that incredible longevity and vitality in places like Okinawa.
It seems undeniable. It's not just genetics or diet alone, though those play a role. It's this internal motivator, this light that keeps them connected, engaged, and moving forward with joy.
It's the difference between just existing and truly living, right to the end.
Couldn't have said it better. It fuels both the length and the quality of life.
And the most exciting part is that this isn't some secret recipe only available in Japan. It's universal. We can all start looking for our own Ikigai right now.
Today, even just starting with those 4 questions, taking small steps.
It really reframes aging, doesn't it? Not as an ending, but maybe as the beginning of a wiser, richer chapter focused on what truly matters.
Absolutely. It's a continuation of growth and meaning.
So for everyone listening, take a moment. Think about your Ikigai. What gets you up in the morning? What could it be? Even if you're just starting to figure it out, please share it in the comments. Your journey might just spark something for someone else.
Yeah, share your thoughts.
And definitely subscribe if you enjoyed this deep dive. We've got more coming. Let's build a community focused on living with purpose, whatever our age.
And maybe today, just think about one small thing you can do that feels meaningful to you. Just one small step.
Because that secret to a long, meaningful life, well, it's already inside you. You just need to wake it up. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.
Until then, keep living with purpose.
Keep smiling, keep moving, and keep finding that joy.